What's up, Wikimaniacs? The sun is shining, the snow is melting, and my depression is almost gone. Reddit on Wiki starts now.
Get therapy.
I don't know how to read.
Get therapy.
What's going on, Wikimaniacs? Welcome back to another Friday Am I the Asshole episode. I'm your host, Josh. Today, joined with me, of course, are my boys, John and Sean. What's going on?
Everything is up, like you said, but the depression is still here.
Oh, okay. Well, mine's more seasonal.
I have none. Life is all right.
Hell yeah.
I wish I was on vacation right now again.
You go on like 4 vacations a
You
year.
vacation more than both
It
of
is
Josh
not
and I
enough.
combined.
It is not enough. I'm stuck in Texas. I don't want to get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man. But how are you guys doing other than that?
Had my 2 workouts today, so I'm good. Feeling good.
Nice. Took the day off today, which is what I say every other day.
Hey, sometimes your body tells you when you need to do things, and you should listen.
Exactly.
And I never follow my own advice, so please.
Yeah, 3 workouts in one day, you fucking...
And I survived.
Insane.
Okay? I survived.
I mean, I didn't doubt you. I just
Yeah.
I don't know if that's optimal.
So we are going to do some stories today, boys. Like we do every day. I don't know why I said that.
Let's
like that
do
was
it.
a revelation.
What
But
plot twist.
it would be a plot twist if we didn't do that. Actually, this is just
Actually, we're doing Marvel Rivals on
yeah.
a fucking audio podcast episode. Can you believe it?
WWE review
Oh,
episode,
God.
actually.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
think
Let's
it'd
go.
be so
let-
bad.
Let's go full history and fucking just go back to our old format for one episode.
Oh, God, I didn't prepare for that.
Get our old audience back of 10 people.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hop into the first story of the day here, boys. Hosted by Beginning Joke 3830. And bit of a petty one here.
Ooh,
Automatic,
This
not
was-
the asshole.
a John specialty.
This was titled, Am I the Asshole for Not Giving My Coworker a ride after he didn't spot me $1 at the vending machine?
All right, maybe
Oh.
you're a little too petty.
Wow, really? I would be like, yeah, no.
Sean's like, no, fuck that.
That's what Uber is.
True. It would be more than $1 to drive
True.
someone,
Yeah.
presumably. So you're leaning not the asshole, Sean. Where are you leaning, John?
I'm going asshole with this.
Okay, we got a split immediately. Crazy.
Getting crazy.
All right, so this story goes like this. I usually give my coworker a ride on the way back from work, usually driving 5 miles out of my way to drop him off at his place because he doesn't have a car. I've been doing that for about 2 years now and haven't asked for anything, and he's never offered.
That's crazy.
That is crazy that he's never
That's a lot.
offered.
What? I recant my judgment.
Holy shit.
Never been like, yeah, let me buy you a cup of coffee or something.
Yeah.
A
me get-
donut, maybe.
Yeah, let me
donut
get
is
donuts
like
in the
what?
morning.
75
5 miles
cents?
out of your
That's
way in
crazy.
this economy? Shit.
Yesterday, I was at the vending machine and wanted a soda. I was short $1 and had left my wallet in my car. I would usually go get my wallet, but it takes forever to wait for the elevators at my workplace. So I asked if he could spot me $1 for soda. He straight up refused and said, just use your own money, man. I don't really give money to friends or coworkers. Sorry.
Use your own legs then, buddy. Walk that asshole.
Yeah.
I was taken aback by that comment because I've probably spent well over $1,500 in gas over the past 2 years for this guy, and he can't even spot me $1 just this once. I got pretty upset by that, and once it hit 5, I told him I'm not giving him free rides anymore. He seemed
Like how
upset.
you waited until you could have told him
Nah,
right then
hell
and
no.
there.
Once
No,
it
no,
hits
no.
5, you
No,
better
no,
start
no.
walking them 5 miles.
5:01 as he's going to get in my car. Actually, sorry, man, you got to walk today.
Yeah, you got me fucked up.
He seemed upset and said I was petty. Am I the asshole?
Hell nah.
Hell no. Also, I would have agreed and be like, yes, I'm being fucking petty. I fucking drive you every goddamn day, bitch. You can't give me $1.
That's insane.
Not the
Yeah.
entitlement of that coworker to, well, I want to say entitlement. It's just the non, doesn't know how to reciprocate
It's
friendships,
just not
right?
considerate.
Yeah, not
at
consider.
all.
That's the
Yeah.
word I was looking
To
for.
never offer anything.
Yes.
Even like I don't know, anything. A snack. Or I don't know. It sounds like maybe he's not in a great, but he's working at the same place as you.
Doesn't
Sounds like y'all work right next to
matter,
each
bro.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's
you
not
can get a 75-cent donut.
Yeah, even if it's not monetary in terms of like the favor that you give back, you give something, right? Well, no.
No.
Whoa.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, he can't DoorDash lunch for all the rides at least once a week.
something.
Something like that, right? Because like
$1,500 is wild.
well, you think about it, like that's like gas money for 5 miles, 10 miles a day. Actually,
I
if you
mean,
think about
especially
it.
depending on where you live.
Yeah,
It's not even
West side- West Coast.
It's not even the going out of the way is the one that sucks. It's the time he's also investing, having to go through traffic during rush hour, going opposite of where that fool lives.
yeah,
Mhm.
probably an extra gas station stop a week.
Yeah,
It adds up.
in
It adds
LA,
up.
5 miles is like 2 hours on the road.
That's
True.
fucking true as fuck.
That's why I tell people distance and time. I'm like, this is how long it will take you to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Reddit deemed not the asshole. Aldringe said, not the asshole. You asked him for a small favor and he refused and shamed you. You have no obligation to keep offering him a ride, though you should know this will drastically deteriorate your relationship and they will make a big deal of it.
Yeah, I don't want a fucking relationship
Same.
with this guy. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sounds like a damn
I'm
moocher
good.
to begin with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes my life easier at work.
Sounds like a win-win if this
Yeah.
deteriorates our relationship.
I don't have to drive your ass.
Yup.
And I don't have to put up with someone who I thought you would presume at that point you'd be
$1.
friendly.
bro.
Ungrateful motherfucker.
Yeah.
Here.
Also, I don't like the way he said friends and coworkers. Like, bitch, I'm driving you every day. You better be my goddamn friend. That's fucking crazy. You have to
That's what I'm saying.
specify and coworkers,
Yeah.
meaning you, bitch. Well, all right.
Could have dropped that last part.
Well, no
Yeah,
one's
rude.
dropping his ass off home anymore.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next one here. Cross posted by Writing Giraffe, the GOAT.
Mm.
This one is titled, Am I the asshole for expecting my husband to help me retire after 32 years of separate finances?
Ooh.
I understand separate finance, but y'all got to at least be on the same page about that kind of stuff. Right?
Are you
I don't know.
spending frivolously? Are you not preparing for retirement? Are you making dumb financial decisions? I don't expect anyone to take care of me unless it's like we both agree that, hey, we're going to save up for retirement. So if they did their part of the bargain, why didn't you? So I'm going asshole. I'm going to say everyone's an asshole in this story now.
Mm.
The cheap way out.
Yeah.
I never
Everyone
lose.
sucks.
Yeah, I'll probably go. Oh, fuck it. We've been splitting. I'll go not the asshole.
Oh, I thought you were going
Bam.
to say no one's the asshole.
Oh.
That would
Someone's
be
an
the-
asshole. There's
That would be
always
the
at least
true
one.
opposite. All right. I, 58 female, have been married to my husband, 60 male, for 32 years. When we first got married, we decided to keep our finances completely separate and split all shared expenses 50-50. At the time, it seemed logical. I wanted to be independent and never wanted to ask my husband for money. We both had similar incomes, and I thought we were being modern and practical. We've always planned to retire to Florida with a nice home near the beach. Here's where things stand now. My husband is planning to retire next year. It turns out he's been saving aggressively since his 20s, maxing out his 401k and living relatively frugal. He now has about 1.8 million in retirement savings. I, on the other hand, have about 110,000.
That's tough.
That's a
A
discrepancy.
minuscule amount. I will say this: even if you want to keep things separate, which is I understand, y'all at least have to talk monthly. Like, all right, this is like what I've been saving. This is my investment.
At least yearly.
Just
you
so
know what I
you're
mean?
on the same page. Like, all right, our goal is to retire in Florida. Are we gonna do
We
that
close?
together? Let's talk about it. It's
Yeah.
crazy to not once ever talk about it until being like, yeah, I think I'm gonna retire next year. Also, when you've been working for 30 years and you've only raised 100,000, you got to be. Were you ever thinking about retirement?
Yeah.
It's
That's
a
tough.
one-day millionaire type of people sometimes.
That's tough.
Just keep playing the lottery and I'll win someday, you know? Yeah, to me, it's insane that they haven't talked about it. It seems like, presumably, for the past 32 years. Crazy. All right. So they go on to say, why the huge difference? I made different choices. I helped my parents financially for years before they passed. I took 2 years off when my sister was battling cancer. I chose a career in nonprofit work that was fulfilling but paid less. And yes, I probably splurged a bit more with my annual vacations with my girlfriends and nicer clothes. But we always split our bills equally, even when his income grew to double mine. The problem is, my husband wants to sell our home and buy a retirement condo in Florida for $650,000 in a beachfront community. He can easily afford his half, $325,000, plus have plenty left for living expenses. I can barely scrape together my half, and doing so would leave me with almost nothing to live on.
How old is he?
60.
I mean, if you're spending $300,000 right off the bat, you're gonna blow through that fucking.
Well, you're selling your house too,
Yeah,
right?
so you're gonna get some
equity.
sort of something from your house, and then
I don't know. I just feel like in this economy, you need like 5 at least.
yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Like 1.8 is a shit ton of money, but also like, how long will you live off?
Well, they're also living in a state that doesn't have state taxes, so that's probably one thing that can be contributed to that too.
That's true. That's true.
Potentially, yeah.
But I'm just like, I don't know if that's enough.
I'm stunned by how much more he has saved. I didn't realize the magnitude of his retirement fund, and now I feel like he's been stealing from me by insisting on the 50-50 split when he earns so much more. I suggested we put off moving for a few more years and look at more affordable options, maybe $400,000 total. He says he earned his dream retirement and doesn't want to downgrade his plans because of my choice. He insists this was always our plan. Again, crazy you haven't talked since
Crazy
32
to
years
never
ago.
have a checkpoint. Been like, yo, I'm doing pretty good. I got, 200,000 in the last whatever years.
Yeah.
Like, where are you? 20? You said you're at 20,000?
Okay, maybe we'll maybe I'll pick up a couple more bills, something like that.
Especially when his income doubled.
Yeah.
He should have been like, okay, like clearly 50-50 doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
If we're gonna retire at the same time, there's no way you could invest what I can invest with your paycheck. So like, let's reconvene to make sure we can retire at the same time. But no, they're just like, John is absolutely right on the fucking button with this one. I think everyone is kind of an asshole, to be honest. I haven't finished, but that's just how I'm feeling.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Last night he created a spreadsheet showing how much each potential retirement home would cost me in terms of additional working years. The $650,000 condo would require me to work until I'm 74, while the $400,000 home would let me retire at 68. He presented this like it was a helpful tool. When I suggested rethinking our financial agreement after 32 years of marriage, he said that would be changing the rules and punishing him for being responsible. He got defensive about how much he sacrificed while I took time off and went on trips. Now we're considering either 1, getting 1 to 2 roommates. Yes, seriously, so I can keep my job and stay close to my friends. 2, living apart from each other in retirement. 3, finding a new job in Florida and working well into my 70s while he enjoys retirement. So Reddit, am I the asshole for thinking that after 32 years of marriage, we should adjust our financial arrangement so I can actually retire with my husband? Or should I accept that our agreement means I have to work into my 70s or get roommates while he lives comfortably?
I will say, I think I still agree with the assessment that everyone sucks in this situation. Yeah. However, I think the husband is the least shitty person in this scenario. Just because, okay, let me just go this first. They both suck is because kind of like the point that you guys said. They didn't have any conversation. Like they don't have those yearly, monthly, whatever check-ins where it's like, all right, where are we at in terms of our goals and retirements? Yes, the original plan was for them to be independent, to have some sort of separate finances. But at the end of the day, marriage, depending on what kind of marriage that you have, it's usually assets that you guys can grow together, right? So it seems like these two people are very individualistic in their approach. However, that's probably what they were about, and that's what worked for them, in their marriage. It seems like it's not working out. However, it will suck. I'll call her the bigger asshole in this situation because yes, he should have stepped up a little bit and said like, okay, well, I'm making double now. Let me help out a little bit. And it seems like both of them didn't have that conversation that, hey, I'm gonna take a few years off. Like, hey, I'm gonna help out I'm gonna help out her parents and all that. Or you taking maybe he should have stopped her in the middle of all those spendings, all those vacations. Like, hey, we have a goal. What are we doing here? Why are you spending so much money? It will suck though if he had to compromise on his dream retirement, because he did make those sacrifices to have that type of lifestyle. And it just sucks that they didn't have any conversations in between that. So I think they both suck for not being good communicators with each other, but I don't blame him for wanting to have that lifestyle because he did work for it technically.
I'm going to have a hot take here. And I think they're equally assholes.
Interesting.
I think the hot take is that, like, oh no, it's the consequences of your actions, dude. Like, how are you going to make double? You know she's not making a lot of money. You know she took 2 years off. And that's not his responsibility. He's doing his thing. He's, but at what point do you step in and be like, all right, I know I'm making double, so there's no way you're matching me on investments. There's no way we're going to retire at the same time. That's logic.
Yeah.
2, you're taking 2 years off. You're going on vacations. That, again, not my fault, not my issue. But you got to at least be like, you have to check in. And when you don't check in, like, now it sounds like there's no way he didn't know she was ready. She wasn't going to be ready to retire. There's just absolutely no way. And for him to spring it up and be like, well, I guess we could just live our separate lives. I'll retire in Florida and I guess you just keep working over. He knew what was going on, I think, in my opinion, because it's just like, how do you not fucking know she took 2 weeks off? She's helping her parents financially.
To be fair,
you're making double.
She also had no idea where he was financially.
That is true.
That's fair. They might just both be really fucking stupid. But I mean, how do you, if you're making double, y'all are both saving for the future. He's investing double at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta imagine. She probably knew he was making more, but maybe she didn't know, like, invest a certain amount.
To me, it's insane that never had a, like,
that's the
it's
part.
So crazy to never have a talk.
Fuck?
But I just think it's like very inconsiderate of, both of them really. But I mean, especially him, because he's in a higher position. And like, duh, dude, like, she took 2 years off. She's paying for her parents. Maybe you didn't know she was paying for her parents because y'all don't fucking talk at all. I don't know.
But she also doesn't sound very smart financially with all those splurges, because she did say she did enjoy the finer things. So that's going to cost more money too.
Yeah, for sure. She's also an idiot. I'm just saying, I'm not letting this guy off scot-free. You know what I'm saying? He's also a fucking inconsiderate asshole, in my opinion. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Because, like, logically, how you gotta know you're probably fucking killing her investment-wise. And also, I don't like that he all right, yeah, do whatever you want financially. That's your money. That's what we agreed on. That's our deal. But then, like, kind of hold resentment at the end for, like, well, you did all that fun stuff. That's your fault. I guess you got to keep working till you're 70, which is true. She should keep working till she's 70. But y'all should have had that fucking talk every goddamn year. It's crazy. And I don't know. I think he doesn't really care one way or another if he's married or not.
I agree with all the points you said, Sean. The only point where I get is like, and I mean, this is like splitting hairs at this point, is like, it is your retirement. It is your responsibility. I agree with everything you said. I think he is also an asshole in this situation because, it's also his responsibility to have those conversations.
That's what partnerships
with his
are
wife.
at the end of the day.
If he's aggressively investing, he's got to know that and like, he knows all the sacrifices that he's making to make sure that he can aggressively invest. And then he's seeing her
splurge.
He may not know what she's investing. Maybe he thinks she's also investing, which she should have been. But it sounds like, I mean, you could just
lack of communication is
all right. Clearly,
this is the bad. This is the lesson of the story: is no one ever fucking talks to their partners.
Yeah, there's no way I can she's struggling like me. She's investing like me because I can't go on vacation with my boys right now. I'm fucking dying right now.
Yeah.
So there's just like, he had to have known because he sounds like more financially
savvy,
yeah,
literate. So I don't know. When you are that financially literate, you gotta like sit down and talk to your spouse. Be like, look, we need to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Because I would get it if they're both dumb and they are both financially illiterate. He just got lucky off something. But it sounds like he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean?
It does. It does.
It's crazy to know what you're doing and then watch idly by and then be like, oh no.
But it's also good for the other person to have some sort of like realization, like, oh shit, I'm not even close to the end goal here. So
for sure.
Yeah, it was also,
we're all agreeing that this talk should have happened 30 years ago.
Yeah, I agree with that because it's just like I don't know. To me, it's insane because it's like, how do you not have a check-in with your partner?
Yeah,
monthly, like Sean said at the beginning, if not yearly, and just be like, all right, here's how much like I've saved this year. Like, where are you at? How can we adjust going forward? It's just insane to me that this has never been a conversation. I don't get it. And Reddit agreed with us. There were a lot of "you're the assholes" and a lot of "everyone sucks." Mm-hmm. There was one comment here that OP responded to from Pudding7. Said, posts like this are bizarre to me. Even if you agreed to split finances, it never came up once in 32 years about how much you were saving.
Yes,
exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
And after presumably 32 years of a career, you managed to save a measly $110,000. What was your retirement plan exactly? To which OP responded, I didn't think he was really thinking about retirement when he brought it up. I mean, I know he works a lot, so I figured it was just like dreaming about it kind of thing. And I'm only 58, so I figured I would have a few more years to save.
So now you're delusional at this point.
I'm only 58. Look, that's still young in like life terms. Like you can still do shit. But like as far as like retirement, like me, I'm trying to retire like 65, right? Like that's what we should aim for.
I'm trying to die by then, shit.
I'm not.
I hope not.
That's why I'm doing all this stuff now. So if I go early, fuck it, my life's fulfilled.
I mean, I guess that's a good way to look at it, but you still want to have money for after those years.
We'll see.
But yeah, it just insane to me that they were like, yeah, I got until 65, 7 more years to make over $1 million.
Yeah,
it's
not going to happen.
No.
Like I saw a clip and somebody was like, I'm 40 and I've invested $0. I still want to retire at 65. And like the guy that was reading it was like, I think you might be fucked. I don't know if I can help. I honestly, honest to God, don't know if I can help. That's really unfortunate sounding.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think we're even going to see Social Security in our lifetime, Sean.
It's gone.
Definitely
it's gone.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if it lasts through these next 4 years, unfortunately. You know what I mean? So,
nope.
Yeah, there's no way we're getting that.
Yeah, so that was a dark story.
Jeez.
Honestly, whatever you retire with, take that $100,000. Maybe think about living somewhere else. Florida may not be the one. Maybe some
of the cheaper states, maybe.
Yeah.
I maybe also suggest marriage counseling and also a financial advisor.
Yes, definitely a financial advisor.
Might be a little late.
They're going to tell you you're fucked, bro.
What's that one movie with Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler? I have 401k in my bank account. Fuck, what was that movie? Was it Date Night? No, it wasn't Date Night. I don't remember.
But anyway, we'll move on to the next one here, posted by Pissed Off Equestrian. And this one is titled, Am I the asshole for sending my little sister a vet bill after she tried to get my horses to breed?
Hell no. What the fuck? You're forcing horses to breed?
Yeah, not the asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how you do that.
No, not charge your damn sister.
Have you watched that fucking Netflix movie, that sad ass movie? I forget what it's called, but it's like they make a super pig.
What the fuck?
A what?
And then they like force them to breed, and it's so sad to watch.
What the fuck?
What movie
is it? Like a real
watching?
Like a documentary, or is it a comedy?
No.
What is it?
It's like they made a fictional animal and they're like, this thing could feed blah, 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 blah. Like it cure hunger.
Oh.
But then they like force them to breed. And I was just like, this is sad.
Jesus.
It has the guy from The Walking Dead, Glenn. Pretty sure he's in it.
Oh.
Interesting. Never really watched The Walking Dead. Yeah.
The Asian guy. That's in a bunch of shit.
Steven Yeun.
Yeah, he's Invincible.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that's really good. I haven't watched it.
All right, so let's hop into
2017's Okja. All right, moving on. Who gives a shit?
All right. So I, 33 female, am a horse breeder and own 10 horses. I have a little sister, a 19 female, who was a surprise baby for my parents.
Damn, unnecessary information. It's just like,
I guess it quickly describes the age distance, but yeah, seems unnecessary. They didn't think they could have more than after me, so she is quite babied even now. They begged me to take her on to help her get some work, and I agreed, but made it clear she'd have to work hard and there would be no slacking. She has generally been fine with it and enjoys being around horses, though I do have to light a fire under her arse at times to get her to keep working. The problem, however, arose when a local animal rescue asked me to help them. They had a stallion surrendered to them and they didn't have the capabilities to take care of him. I had room, so I agreed to take him. I've also arranged a fully genetic testing on him to ensure he's all right, as it seems he was gotten through backyard breeders. I've also made an appointment for him to be gelded, as I don't know enough about him to risk him not being gelded, which I assume is
to get
I think
snipped.
that's fixed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has his own padlock and is kept in a separate stable than my own horses just to be safe. I am slowly socializing him, but I'm not taking any risks. I've been letting my sister sit in on breeding plans for 2025, and my main stars are going to be Dante and Willow. They've had 4 successful and healthy fowls who are going to be going into dressage. I know they work well together, and Willow has had 2 years break, so she'll be ready to go again this year. The first warning bell I overlooked was that my sister asked about the new stallion and when I'd breed him. I explained he will not be bred as there was too many unknowns. I don't know his health, and I don't have a good grasp of his temperament. She protested that he was pretty, though, prettier than Dante, and I explained there was more to this than looks. I thought she'd understand and didn't take this further on. Yesterday, an emergency came up, and I had to leave my sister alone for an hour. I told her that she could take an hour break. When I came back, I found, to my horror, she'd put Willow into the padlock with the new stallion. I asked her what the fuck she was doing, and she told me that she just thought they worked well together, and she was doing me a favor. I got Willow out of there, but not before the new stallion bucked and reared quite a bit from stress. I got Willow out of there and set about calming him down. I told my sister to get home and not come back, shouting at her quite a bit. I then had a vet come out and check them both fully to ensure they'd not hurt each other. My one relief is that Willow isn't in estrus yet, which I assume is.
I like that OP is just dropping these terms.
I don't know what these mean.
Am I the asshole knows?
Yeah, I'm too poor to fucking know all these damn questions.
I don't know shit about horses.
I assume it means like in heat or something like that.
Oh, okay, sure.
They could have just said in heat.
Could have just said that, I had the bill sent to my sister at my parents' house. They called me today in a panic asking what the hell this was. When I explained, they told me I was being unfair and that she didn't understand.
Oh, she understood.
And this was being cruel, and my sister was crying. I told them she did understand, she just didn't care. That she could pay or they could pay, but I wasn't. They are freaking out over how they'll afford this. Am I taking this too far?
Hell no. They got to learn their lesson.
She's 19.
Yeah, she's 19.
That's old enough to drive and vote.
Yeah, and it sounds like you said ours, so they're probably in Europe, old enough to drink in some places. Yeah,
many places.
Yeah, many places. Is
that everywhere but us?
I think.
Yeah, we're 19 here in Canada, and I think Europe's like.
Well, you can drink like
some
wine,
places.
18 in restaurants in Europe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I think the little sister knew this whole time. It sounds like she's the golden child in this family, and to me too, it's like she was reminded already, like, hey, I don't think they're gonna work together for these reasons, and she was quick to respond, oh hey, but that stallion is pretty. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to know what you're doing somewhat to get one horse from one place to another.
Exactly.
So she knew something. Yeah. I mean, yes. Like, you didn't even want her there in the first place. They forced her to work with you. You said, take a fucking break. And then you find out she's trying to get your horses to fuck. Yeah, no. Yeah, she's responsible. If this was anybody else's farm, and not your farm. Like someone she wasn't related to.
She gonna get sued regardless.
Oh,
She's way worse than just paying this bill.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, not the asshole.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I just think, if anything, the parents should maybe pay because they're
the one that forced the situation.
Yeah, well, yeah. Exactly right, John.
I mean, I would also, if I was the parents, I'd also force her to pay some of it because, it sounds like she could use a lesson.
Oh, she's gonna work, and all these wages are getting garnished back to that bill.
Yeah, well, I don't know if she's going to be working there ever again.
Oh, not in that
she's
far.
Different place.
She's going somewhere
Understand.
else.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, because it just, like, for you to be like, no, we're not doing it that way. Like, we already have a breeding plan in place, and for her to just go around that, like, she understood. She's 19.
Yep.
She understands.
Yeah. Why do you think she waited until
the sister left? Yeah.
Yeah, she knew
the repercussions of your action when you horse around.
Jesus. All right.
Foul play, Sean. Sorry.
OP's not the asshole, but John might be.
Thank you.
Also, the Abyss said, horse owner here, absolutely fucking not the asshole. What the fuck was she thinking?
Yeah.
He could have killed your mare. Bet she wouldn't like that bill or the lost income afterwards. In regards to, like, replacing the mare.
Wait, is that what you call? Hold on. Question. This is a stupid question. Is it fowl? No, fowl's chicken, right?
Fowl is a baby horse.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it pronounced fowl or foal?
Foal.
Is it foal?
Yeah.
Okay, because
it is spelled fowl. You're correct.
Like the chicken fowl?
Now I'm confused. I don't know.
I am too. That's why I was like, did that joke even make sense?
I think fowl is like FOWL.
Ain't that the chicken?
For a bird.
Yeah.
For a bird. Yeah. I think it's
It's FOAL, right? Sorry, this is just
no OWL.
They're the same.
No, foal is FOUL, right?
Oh, isn't that just foul?
No, that's foul.
Oh no, FOAL is
FOA. Yeah,
sorry,
FOAL is the whole.
Okay, there you go.
Jesus, English is difficult.
It is. I had to double check.
Do that?
Fuck me. But yeah, so yeah, foal for horse, fowl for bird.
English is a nightmare.
Just like their food, the language is terrible.
Moving on to the next one, posted by What IDS Forever. And the title for this one is, Am I the asshole for refusing to close our marriage for the sake of our children?
Close our... So y'all have an open relationship right now.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck opened it up in the first place?
Yeah, it feels like this is like one of the other stories we get, but now this time there's kids involved. He's like, well, I'll leave if we don't close it back up. Why did you open it? You just can't get no bitches.
I'm going to go not the asshole?
Yeah, I'm rocking with John.
Okay. Just like that horse, baby.
There is an update as well on this one. Let's hop into it. 27 male, would say I'm a bit of an awkward guy. I think my outward appearances can be deceiving on that front. I do well in situations where there are well-established rules, like in work and business-related interactions. When it comes to romance, I feel like I fall a little flat. I talk too long about things someone might not care about on the first meeting. I ask too many questions, etc. My wife, 28 female, has been interested in opening up our relationship for a while. I was never against the idea, but she would continually say she wanted me to try looking as well. I was happy just letting her have her own fun, but she said she only wanted to open things up if I was going out and meeting people too.
I'm so jealous, bro.
Jealous?
No, just like there's no way I would just be like, yeah, I want you to have your fun. I'd be like, I think we're done. Then.
I thought you were like, I'm so jealous of this relationship.
Oh, no.
Nancy,
I would just
are you
be
gonna
too
have to
jealous.
have a conversation with Sean right now?
No. I would just be way too jealous to be in one of these. I don't know
understand.
how people... I'm just so regular, vanilla.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just...
I can't do it,
As soon as they'd be like, I'd like to
either.
open it, I'd be like, I can't. No, there's no way.
I'm throwing hands every day. Like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Yeah.
You're going to come back
just
finding me
no way.
crying every night.
Yeah. I'm fine with her having her fun. I don't think so.
No, man, I'm
Could
just
it
be in a shower crying the whole
so
time.
sad.
I feel so empty.
God.
She wanted me going out and meeting other people too. And I did meet someone that is. He, 31 male, is everything. He's witty and smart. He's got a biting sense of humor that I'm genuinely obsessed with. He's quiet and deliberate with his actions, and I'm just really overjoyed with the fact that I'm finally feeling understood by someone. He seems to actually enjoy sex with me in an innovative way that I didn't even consider possible 6 months ago. But more than that, hell yeah. But more than that, he seems to actually enjoy being with me, getting to know me more as a person. My wife was having fun. I've gotten a lot of fulfillment out of this and gained a lot of confidence. That's why it was such a shock to me when she came to me and said she wanted to close our marriage again. She said this was a temporary arrangement and she wanted to get serious about having children soon. Every time I think about agreeing to that, it feels like I'm losing something really important, like I'm shutting down the significant piece of myself. I eventually told her no, I'm not interested in closing our relationship, and now she's accusing me of being selfish and not caring about our future children. So am I the asshole?
Nah. So wait, so there's not even any children in this scenario.
No, there's no children yet.
Future
Hell
children.
no. You wanted OP to go fuck around and find out. They did. And they found out they can have a good time too. You're the one that kept urging them to do it. You're the one that wanted to keep the open relationship. And now you want to close it? Girl, you ain't getting no dick appointments or what? Nah, you deserve this shit, bro. Let OP have their fun.
Here's what I'm thinking. Thinking a John type plot twist. John is usually good at these.
Oh, okay. I
think she might be pregnant.
Yes,
right
that's
now,
what I was thinking.
As we're talking.
Yes.
And she's just like, we got to close it and we got to start making babies immediately.
Immediately.
Like, wait, when did we start talking about kids at all?
That is juicy, Sean.
Yeah, I'm on my John type shit today.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, that she is conniving, I bet.
Because it's out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We got to close it.
Think of the children.
Our future children.
Our future children.
That don't exist yet and won't be yours either. So but yeah, I the other possibility I'm thinking is that she actually sees OP falling for someone else and is becoming jealous.
Possibly.
That is also the other scenario that is.
This is why, like, we always say with these stories that come up, also, we were just like, there's no fucking way any of us can. But, like, yeah, it has to be, you got to get, like, some sort of, like, contract exactly written out. Because there's just so many, like, well, we didn't see this coming. I feel like you could, they're mostly the same stuff every single time of these stories. You could see some stuff coming.
Yeah.
So, you got to have it.
Well, it's crazy that she's like in no way in her like encouraging him to get out there was she like, this is temporary.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
And now she's like, no, that was temporary. We got to have kids now.
And just like that first story, y'all got to have more check-ins with each other.
True.
If you see your partner starting to gain a little bit more confidence and you want to pull that out of their rug, bro, I just feel like you kind of fucked up in this scenario. It's like you should start appreciating them more. That's probably why you don't want them being happy.
Exactly.
Maybe just get a divorce. You know
At this point,
yeah, probably where it should be.
And Nick Miller, you get one wife. Why? I don't know.
Reddit not the asshole. There were a couple comments here. So commenter one said, what I took away from this is that you don't feel understood even by your wife. And she doesn't like to have sex with you. Pending further information, I would say you guys are not meant for each other. Don't bring kids into this.
Yep.
Amicable separating before your kids is the kindest thing for both of you.
And the kindness for the potential kids that you shouldn't bring in this world if there's no love and you're not ready to have them.
To which OP responded to that and said, I don't necessarily think my wife doesn't enjoy sex with me, but I don't always come away from it feeling particularly good about myself. So it's not like I'm being berated or told I'm not doing things right, but I'm also not getting much verbal feedback at all. On the other hand, sex with him makes me feel confident. I feel a new appreciation for my body afterwards. Not sure if that's totally bizarre. He verbalizes a lot more than she does. And then this is where I feel weird all over again because comparing the two of them feels wrong and disrespectful. And then commenter 2 says, does it feel wrong because it's disrespectful or because you feel like you should feel that way and you don't? It seems to me like you may be feeling like your man is your man, but that you made a promise to your wife and you have to keep that, even though she's becoming less and less your woman. People change, and that's okay. Even if you were 100% in agreement with having an open relationship, things changed between the two of you when it started. To me, your words for your man drip with love and appreciation, but you only seem to have friendly affections for your wife. That's just what I'm reading. I'm not trying to say that's how you feel, just what I see. To which OP comments and said, I'm not a jealous person at all. I would never have agreed to this arrangement if I was.
You're a better person than
Like
we
us.
ever would be.
Could never be me.
Not better, just different.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I would go.
But we have also said we're all kind of pieces of shit.
Yeah. That being said,
I used to be a real piece of shit.
Used to be real.
I still am.
You think this is a slick back?
This is pushed back.
That being said, there are times when I feel like, damn, I would very much like to make some sort of show of commitment to him that says, this is mine, do not approach, to everyone else, which makes me feel a little crazy, to be honest.
Quite the opposite of open.
Yeah.
Sounds very exclusive to me.
Yeah, sounds very close.
And then the final question OP responds to is OP's guy interested in having a relationship with him? OP responds and said, we've never specifically talked about that. I've been reluctant to. It's nerve-wracking. We have had conversations about how crazy it is that things fell into place when we met. Like, whoa, suddenly you're one of the most important people in my life. Suddenly I have clothes and toothbrushes in your apartment, and I'm snoozing my alarm to stay in bed with you for a little longer. I've never been that type of person. Life is weird. So
y'all getting
that was the comments.
Lot closer. I think
know.
I think OP, you just got to split with your wife at this point.
Yeah,
I think so. Right?
Again, I don't know shit about open relationships.
Same.
I just could never. But it sounds like
that's very intimate.
Divorce is probably the option.
Yeah,
I feel like most of these open relationship stories we get is just a fuck, and it sounds like there's a lot more going on here.
Yeah, and I will say, like, his statement earlier about being like, I want to make him mine and only mine.
Yeah,
is like, okay, so you're not really into the open relationship. He just fulfills everything your wife doesn't.
Yeah,
is what it seems like to me.
Yeah,
that and you sound like you're very emotionally invested in this person already, and kind of like what Sean said. Again, this is a dumbass who doesn't understand really the concept of open relationships. It's no longer just a fuck anymore.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah, that's a full-blown relationship you have with that other person.
Yeah. And there is an update 5 days later. So the last few days have been really emotionally exhausting. The first question I had to sit with was not whether I'd be happier in a relationship with my new partner. It was, would I be happier without my wife? I never wanted to go into this conversation with him feeling like this was a one or the other situation.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to him without a decision would make me feel disingenuous. It would be a dick move to everyone involved. Like if he said no, then I had my wife waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
To me, that said neither relationship really mattered to me. In my mind, there was only two options for how things would go when we spoke. I would either be ending things with him for my marriage, or I would be ending things with my wife. There was no taking a leap of faith, then crawling back to her with my tail between my legs. The conclusion I came to is that I'm just not fulfilled in my marriage. I'm also having these complicated feelings kind of cycling through, like anger at her for opening our marriage at all and pulling me out of our comfort zone, while also feeling grateful for what it's taught me. A common theme in the comments on my last post was, once the door has been opened, it can't be closed. And that's true. I can't go back to not knowing how it felt to be understood and listened to. I can't unknow this feeling of trust, so I told her that I'm unhappy and I'm going to be looking into separation options. I had a conversation with my guy and it went really well. I was just open and honest with him about how I feel, that he gives me things I've never had and never known I could have. He said some really sweet things that are just for me and not for the internet. There are no well-rounded ways to end the story yet. I have a lot more conversations to have. There's also so much more I want to say, yet so many emotions that I'd like to get down into words, but this is already very long. I just wanted to come on and give a little update for those of you who were wondering. Probably the best case scenario, for both of them. She can find someone who fulfills her in a relationship, and he has this guy that seemingly fulfills him. So
unless she is pregnant and she's like, oh no,
that was my lifeline.
Yeah, you better find out the partner you got pregnant with.
True. Maybe he's open to having an open relationship.
Gosh, every one of these stories, I'm just like,
can't do it.
Never.
Can't do it.
Could not be me for sure.
Man, I would be distraught. I would be fucking distraught, bro. Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's not what you're into.
Yeah,
I'm into.
I mean, I'm not trying to shame anybody. I'm just saying, like, that would be so tough for me.
All right, let's move on to the final story here. Trigger warning for politics.
Oh, here comes. Oh, I did see a Spotify comment.
Oh God!
during one of our live streams, I was like, "Oh, Josh put up the video on that one." And also, shout out to everyone who's been attending our live streams. 300 people, like, that's a lot of people that be listening.
Yeah, consistently.
Yeah, appreciate y'all for like tuning in on like that Wednesday lunchtime and keeping us company too. But someone said, I hate that like you guys make fun of Trump and I'm a rich. I'm canceling this membership. If you were rich, you should know we'd be clowning on that motherfucker on a daily. So what are you really talking about?
We haven't made our politics a secret ever.
Ever.
Never. In the past 4 years.
You know what you've been funding.
Sean, just for context, why they said that? Because I taught Josh how to say putang ina mo in Tagalog.
What does that have to do with Trump?
Yeah, I said putang ina mo Trump. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all know this.
Yeah, I
ain't a surprise.
I do find it weird when people find that a surprise, but like you've heard us talk about stories, right?
We've been around since 2021. We were talking shit about him from the jump.
From the
I'm
last
just trying
one.
to get big enough to where I could be in a celebrity boxing match versus Abbott, and that's been my day one goal.
Hell yeah.
I'm pushing him off the ramp. What are you talking about?
Let him in the ring. Let him in the ring.
All right, so this one was cross-posted on our subreddit by It Must Be Nice.
To live anywhere else but America at this point.
And this one is titled, Am I Overreacting for Refusing to Visit the U.S. with My American Boyfriend Until the 51st State Rhetoric and Tariffs Stop?
I don't blame you.
No.
I don't blame you one bit. I don't even want to be
Canadian. Is it Canadian? Fuck no.
It's just like, if you're not white, especially if you're not white looking, I wouldn't want to come here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just people just stopping any random brown person. No.
I mean, even like, I just wouldn't. I've already talked to the boys about this because we were thinking about doing live shows this year down in the States. And I'm already like, I don't want to go down there, guys.
And we don't blame you a bit.
No, any of it.
Hell no.
Yeah. So I personally,
like John's saying, we barely want to be here.
I
would say John don't want to be here.
Yeah. John hasn't been.
I hated Texas for the only reson why I'm here because
I'm talking about the country. I'm talking about the country.
Yeah. John's constantly leaving it, actually.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, let's hop into it and see if this person could possibly be the asshole. So I, 31 female, and my boyfriend, 31 male, are a Canadian and American couple living in the UK. I'm back in home in Canada right now visiting family, and obviously things are quite tense with Trump threatening to destroy our economy and try to wear us down into submission. I called my boyfriend yesterday to let him know that I will be boycotting any trips to America over the next 4 years, or at least until the tariffs/jokes about Canada becoming the 51st state stop. And then in brackets, I know they're not jokes. I added that I hope his parents don't think I'm being rude if I don't go home with him next time. His mom has a green card from China, so getting travel visas for her isn't always easy. But he has an uncle in Canada, and I'd be happy to visit them there, or even go along to China with them next year when she plans to visit. Just for the record, I lived in China for a year, and his parents don't vote Republican. He responded by asking if I'd really miss his friend's upcoming wedding with him. They haven't announced where it'll be yet. And when I said yes, he said, well, that's certainly a take, and that we don't need to discuss it anymore. I could tell he thinks I'm overreacting, and I pointed out how many Canadians are canceling their trip to the US, but he argued that's because their partners aren't American. I kind of feel like he's doing the classic American thing of downplaying with his country, what his country is doing to affect others. If I miss a wedding, I will feel bad. But again, I don't think Americans not seeing the gravity of this is surprising, given how insulated they often are from the effects of their country's policies on others. I don't want to create unnecessary tension, but I also don't think I should set aside my principles just because it's inconvenient. I know this might seem extreme, but to me, it's a matter of standing up for my country and not supporting a government that's actively trying to harm it. So am I overreacting?
No.
Not at all. And this is I'm bringing this back from like a conversation like I've had with this was like time like, you know, during when I was still kind of like in the military too. People were like pissed off about like the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, right? It's like, oh, you always gotta stand up for the flag, blah blah. Don't ever kneel for that shit. You know, that conversation. And I told him, I was like, dude, personally, I'll always stand for the flag. Just because that's right. Me, you know, this country gave a lot to me and I respect that. However, if I see someone kneeling, protesting about it, that's what freedom of speech is. That's why we're wearing this uniform right now, buddy. So we can protect their freedom of speech so they can say whatever they want.
Exactly.
However you want to do it, by all means, do what you got to do. I'm sorry, like that doesn't affect me like that. That's the beauty of that's what makes America great, right? Like people can express how they feel. There's a lot of countries out there where you say one negative thing about like people of power.
We're quickly.
I was going to say
quickly.
We got a guy,
and that's the scary part.
Him, and he's
gone,
totally legal here.
Yes. And that's the scary part. So, I'm very proud of people who stand up for their principles. If you believe in certain something and you stick by it, and if people are going to criticize you about it, fuck them. Who cares? Whatever's happening in the world right now is so scary. And this is bringing it back to the live, like a stream that we did, me and Josh. There's so much erasures from like different cultures in the current state of the United States right now. And if you feel unsafe here, I feel unsafe here as a citizen. I'm a fucking male. I can't even begin to understand like, you know, what people in the LGBTQ community feel, what the black community is feeling right now. The constant threat of like ICE, you know, for our like not even just the Hispanic people, but like just a bunch of, you know,
anybody brown,
a bunch of communities out there. They're just threatening to erase the culture, and what makes America great is the fucking diversity of it all, right? And they just want it to be white Christian males. So no, not the asshole at all. Stick to your guns. They'll say that in America because they'll actually, you know, go run along with that.
They'll take you up on that.
Yeah, they'll take you up on that. But yeah, not the asshole at all. And this is not political. This is ethics. And this is what fucking, you know, they're removing the human aspect of things out here just because they want to be something. I don't fucking, it always pisses me off.
Yeah. I mean, as the Canadian of the group, the threats really, they are frightening. You know what I mean? Like, we are significantly smaller. You guys have nukes, a larger army. It's like, yeah, any fight we're going to lose. You know what I mean? And it's just like constantly being, like literally daily, he's sending out whatever the fuck they are, tweets or whatever the fuck he's sending out. Just like being like, yeah, we're gonna make you our 51st state. It's like,
yeah, I will say this.
That's not cool.
I'll preface this. I'll preface this too. That we did joke around that one time when it first happened, but the moment like it actually became real, we're like, shit.
Where he's been seriously talking about it, and it's just like, okay, yeah, like I just couldn't imagine if if China did that to America, how quickly you guys would be launching the nukes. Like, it would be instant. And it's just like,
I mean, they might be allies at this point if they're allies with Russia. Just like
everyone might be allying with them, maybe. But yeah, it's just insane rhetoric from the literal president. And like, to me, it's just like, I know most Americans are like, this is stupid and we shouldn't do this.
Yeah, and we're sorry, just like the rest of the world. We tried, trust me.
Some of you did.
Some of us did. Some of us tried.
Yeah. So it's just like, I know it's not all Americans and I don't blame all Americans, but it's just like, what are we supposed to do other than
a lot of us just don't vote at all.
Yeah.
And that really fucking
that happens here too,
brother.
Yeah.
Just fucking, especially when literal Satan is on the other side. It's like, all right, I know we don't like to vote, but maybe we should just
do it now. Anyway, I don't blame OP at all.
One bit.
I've also been protesting with, trips or groceries or just how avoiding unsubscribing from different subscription platforms that are American. It's just
as you should.
There's small things that feel like you're doing something. I know it might not mean much, but you hope that enough people can do it and put some pressure behind it. But
hurt those corporations in their pockets where it hurts the most, because that's when they'll start fucking listening to you.
Yeah, keep the Tesla stock down. Look at them freaking out. They made a fucking commercial at the White House.
Yeah, that was insane.
Burn the Teslas. Shit, fuck it.
Fuck. So Reddit team, not the asshole, though there were some absolutely insane comments.
Oh, of course.
And OP wrote, update, this is getting out of hand. Someone is trying to reset my password and Reddit has reached out to me for suicidal thoughts. Are you okay? And then update 2, someone has sent 8 requests in a row to reset my email or set my password. I will be deleting my account. Thank you for proving my point that the animosity is not just in the news. So some insane commenters in
why is anyone so mad? Especially because it's not like
take a shot.
Her not going to those weddings does not affect any of those Reddit users in the fucking least.
Hey, it's the cult people protecting their cult leader.
I think it was the paragraph where she was just classic Americans downplaying things, and I feel a lot of certain Americans took that to heart, and we're just
by downplaying it and then trying to,
yeah. But anyway, there was a comment. One of the few normal comments from Rudimentary said you're allowed to react how you want to react, the same way he's allowed to do the same. Same way you're both allowed to react by not being together, because this is something that can and will break people apart. Politics. So think wisely about what truly matters. He's a boyfriend, not a husband. Mm-hmm. Canada is your country and you have the right to stand up for it in any way, shape, or form. You have to deal with whatever happens long term. So I thought that was a very reasonable take. If he doesn't respect and again, you don't have to agree 100% on politics, but there are certain things that will drive a wedge between you and your partner.
Yeah, you can,
and sometimes it should.
Yeah,
sometimes it should.
I'll say you can always disagree in policies, but once it comes to fundamental human respect and human, human whatever I'm saying here, just human respect out of it, there's just no going ifs or buts. It's either fucking immoral or not.
Exactly. Yeah. But that is it for this episode, Wikimaniacs. Let us know what you think down in the comments below if you're still here.
That first Patreon story. Don't. Boy, y'all gotta play it.
Yeah, if you want 2 more stories, sign up to our Patreon at patreon.com/cultivate podcast network. First one is a wild one.
To impress a chick, helicopter. If you know, you know.
Unfortunately, I do.
I can't do that either.
I mean, I could never. Is it being still?
So sign up for that at patreon.com/cultivate podcast network or hit join on our YouTube channel to become a YouTube member. Don't want to sign up, but still want to support the show? Hit like, subscribe, tell your friends about the podcast. It helps us grow. And
I'm imagining a micro helicopter. It's just whoa, staring at me.
But yeah, other than that, we got merch for one more full week after this.
I don't care about me.
Reddit on wikishop.com. Get the 69 merch. Hell yeah. Designed by our very own Sean Salvino.
I don't want to take credit for this shit.
Maybe they'll like it better if they knew I didn't do it.
No, maybe. Okay, John did it. Sell it.
Buy it.
I don't give a fuck.
But yeah, other than that, boys, is there anything else before we close off the show today?
Nope, gotta pee.
Reddit on wikishop.com. Reddit on wikishop.com.
All right. Thank you, boys, for your takes. Thank you, Wikimaniacs, for another amazing episode. See you on Monday.
Later.
Therapy.